Before I start the video, I would like to give a shout out to Hack News. He's the one who requested this video. This video is going to be about the iPad Mini 4 and which cases you should buy for your iPad Mini 4. Now, I know the iPad Mini 4 is a couple of years old, but maybe you still have an iPad Mini 4 and you want to know which cases to buy for your iPad Mini 4. Well, maybe this video will help you decide which case you want for your iPad Mini 4. And I'm going to try to cover every single type of case. I'm going to try to cover cases that are less protective and you just want to protect it from scratches and dust. And I'm going to try to get ones that are kind of protective, and then I'm going to get ones that are full protection. So you want ones that are going to be protected from a lot of drops and very, very bulky and very protective. So I'm going to try to cover the spectrum when it comes to case protection. Also, I will leave a link down in the description for every single case I do talk about. So if you want to pick it up, you can use the links down in the description as well. Now, all the links are going to be to Amazon because Amazon is the very easiest way I can leave links, and Amazon has the cases for the cheapest prices you can probably get them, and a lot of people use Amazon, so it's just very convenient to leave down all Amazon links. So every case here today will be available on Amazon, and you can buy it directly from Amazon if you want to order the case from Amazon. Anyway, let's start the video. The first case we have is the Viking Grip case. Now this case is a very minimalistic case. It's going to be a see-through plastic clear case. Now it is a TPU design, which means that it's not going to be a hard plastic and it's not going to be a full-on gel case. It's going to be those two materials combined. So if you like plastic and you like gel style cases, then this is a combination of both of them. That's what TPU is. Now this case is not going to be the most protective case for your iPad Mini 4. It's just going to be a case you can throw on your iPad Mini 4, and if you want to show off your iPad Mini 4, then this is a great case for you because it does show the back of your device. Whether you buy the black iPad Mini, whether you buy the silver iPad Mini or the gold iPad Mini 4, then this is the case for you. Also, take note, when you do buy clear cases like this, they will discolor whether you like it or not. You can try to prevent it from discoloring, but most likely they will discolor, unfortunately. And a lot of times with see-through cases, you will see a lot of junk in between the case and the iPad on the back, so meaning like dust, debris, and things like that. Unfortunately, that's just a common theme with these kind of cases. What I recommend, if you do buy a case like this, I recommend taking off the case once in a while to go wipe down your device and wipe down the back of the case and then snap them back on, because no matter what, for some reason it always seems like junk gets in the back in between the case and the iPad, which is unfortunate. Now this one's not going to be great also for a lot of dust protection and things like that. So if you work in a dusty environment or you work somewhere that has a lot of things going on and you worry about dropping it or worrying about scratching it and things like this, this may not be the case for you. It will provide some scratch protection most likely, but it won't provide a lot of scratch protection. It won't provide a lot of protection, but maybe you're just a person that wants to throw on a case, wants to show off your iPad. Maybe you don't like the feel of the iPad as well, and you just want something there to make it more easier to hold in the hands and things like that. Then this Viking Grip case is going to be the case for you. Next up, we have a pair of two Apple cases. Now, these Apple cases have to be bought separately, and if you were to buy both Apple cases, it will run you $100. It's kind of expensive, but if you want them both, you're going to have to buy them both. The ones I am talking about are the flip cover from Apple and the gel cover from Apple. They do go together, but luckily you can buy one or another. Maybe you just want to protect the front of your iPad, so you can buy the flip cover, and maybe you want to protect the back of your iPad, so you can buy the gel cover that goes on the back. Luckily, I do have this case, so I can show it on camera. Here is the case right here for the iPad Mini 4. It looks like this. Now, this is going to be a rubbery / gel material, so if you don't like that, it's yeah, that's the way it is. And on the back, it does have an Apple logo right there. It is a black Apple logo. Don't know why they went with a black Apple logo on a black case, just because it does blend in. It's not like you can't see it, but I don't really like that it doesn't really stand out. It's black on black. I will say one thing about this case. This case does add a little bit of weight, and when you pick up your iPad, you will definitely notice some weight to this device. Also, with all these cases, I am recommending right now, all these cases do work with a screen protector. Whether you're buying a plastic screen protector or whether you're buying a tempered glass screen protector, these will all work with screen protectors, so you should have no problem if you're a person that wants to pop on a screen protector in any form. Back to the case. Here's the case right here. Very expensive, in my opinion, $100, but I'm sure you can find deals on this right now for $60 to anywhere to $80 because the iPad Mini 4 is getting kind of old. Now, the flip cover on the front is just like this. When you close it, it does actually lock your device, and when you open it up, it does unlock your device, and it's just hooked on with a magnet, so it's very, very easy to put on. Now, it does look flimsy right here, but what I can say is once it's on the iPad, it does stay on, and it is very, very secure on the iPad. It does just have one magnet right here where my bottom hand is on it. It's just one strip of a magnet, and then it's very easy to put on. One complaint I have about this whole setup is the fact that this piece right here, this part of your iPad, is not going to be fully protected. I'll show you when I actually put on the flip cover to my tablet. Now, sometimes it does have a tendency to roll up when you're trying to put it on, but you just snap it on like this, and it snaps on very easy. And you can see it is on, it's dangling. You can shake it as hard as you can, and it's just not going to come off. Will the magnet over years actually wear out? I can't tell you for sure, but I've had this iPad now at least 2.5 years, and this is still a very sturdy, strong case. Also, this case can roll up and turn into a stand if you want this to be a stand. There's multiple different ways you can have this standing, so it does give you a lot of flexibility. If you consume a lot of media on your tablet, do a lot of typing and things like this, then this is definitely going to be a good case for you. Also, if you look right here, it looks like it doesn't get dirty pretty fast. It actually stays pretty clean. What I will say about the gel though, the gel actually, the outside of the case, the flip cover, actually gets kind of dirty. I don't know if you can see it on camera or how well you can see it on camera, but there is some junk there. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, right, back in focus, please. You just seen it on camera. I just seen it on camera, but now I can't show you. It's not, I can't remember. Somewhere, I think, right here where my right hand is, trying to get this. But you know, anyway, it does get some junk on it, but it's not too bad. If you want a case that's not too minimalistic, that looks like a book and it's very sophisticated, then I would definitely go with this case. I've had no problems with this case. Just knowing it does add a slight, it is slight heavy, but the thing is though, it's not too bulky and not too big. As you can see on camera as well, there is the part I was talking about that's not covered up, so that part won't be covered up. So if you're worried about scratching or you're worried about dust and debris, unfortunately there is one section of this case that is not covered up. Would I recommend this case? Yes, but I wouldn't recommend it at the going price of $100. Also, with all my cases, you will have no problem with the camera. So there won't be any ghosting effects. There won't be anything wrong with the camera. If you're a person that loves to take photography with your iPad, all these cases I am recommending don't have any problem with the camera. One thing also, this is not covered up, so the ports are exposed, so dust and debris could get in there and mess it up. But for me, I've had this now 2 years, and I've had no problems with my headphone jack and my charging point. It works very well, and I actually do enjoy using this case as well. Next up on the list, we have the Griffin Survivor case, and I do own the Griffin Survivor case. Here is the Griffin Survivor case. If you don't know, this is a case just like the Outerbox, so if you're looking for the most protection for your tablet, this is the case to go for. Now, one thing I will say, it does have very big sides that do kind of protrude out, so if you don't like this, you may want to stay away from this case. This case adds the most protection you can have on your iPad Mini 4. Overall, I do like this case, and it is very sturdy. Actually, what I'm going to do now on camera, I'm actually going to bang it against my wall, and you can hear it and hear how sturdy it is. Here we go. As you can see, I just banged it against my wall pretty hard and pretty loud. You can hear it, and it's holding up very, very well. This case is going to be a one single piece. It's not multiple pieces like the Outerbox case, so it is one single piece. Now, the outside, the colored part is a rubbery material, whereas the front of it is going to be just a plasticky material, so it is plasticky. This case does come with a built-in screen protector, just like the Outerbox case, but I was able to remove that piece if you don't like built-in screen protectors, and I was able to use my own screen protector with this, and it was a tempered glass screen protector. So if you want to use a tempered glass screen protector, it will work with this case, and also, of course, a film screen protector will work with this case. Overall, I do like this case. One thing nice about this case is, just like the Outerbox, it does have protections for all the ports, so they are covered up if you're worried about dust getting into them and things like that. There's the charging port right there, and as you can see, there's also two places on it for the grills for the speakers, so the speakers are heavily recessed in there, so they shouldn't get dust or any debris inside of them. One thing this has over the Outerbox, which the Outerbox doesn't have, it does have it on the Outerbox, but it's a separate pieces. It does have a built-in kickstand on the actual case itself, and it is a very sturdy stand. You can see there's a stand. I think it has multiple positions. I'm not sure about that because I haven't used this case in quite some time now, but there it is. There's a stand, and when you click it back into place, it does make a loud clicking sound. I'm going to go ahead and be quiet while you listen. You can tell it's a very sturdy case. You can just hear it. It is making a very loud sound. Don't worry about the sound the stand makes when you pop it back in. It's just a very secure fit. That's why it's very loud. It's not going to break or anything like that. It's a very sturdy case. And here is the Griffin Survivor case for the iPad Mini 4. Next up, we have the Subcase Unicorn Beetle case. Now, this case is another rugged case, just like the Griffin or just like the Outerbox case. Honestly, I can highly recommend this case, and the beautiful thing about the Subcase Unicorn Beetle Pro case is the fact that it is a very, very cheap case. It pretty much technically runs around $17 to $20. It won't break the bank. It's not $50 to $60, and it's not upwards of $100. It won't break the bank. Don't be fooled out there just because a case is very cheap. Some cheap cases are actually very, very sturdy. Now, I currently don't have one for my iPad Mini 4, but I do have one on my Note 5, and here is the Subcase Unicorn Beetle Pro case. It does have a very funky name. That's why you may pass up this case online, because it has a very funky name, but honestly, I can highly recommend this case. The one thing I like about this case, which the Outerbox has a problem with, the fact that if you've ever used an Outerbox case, you may know what I'm talking about. But when you use an Outerbox case, a lot of the case starts coming apart, and you can see like the gel part or like the silicone part starts expanding over time, and it just looks ugly, looks nasty. And the fact that a lot of Outerbox cases, or most Outerbox cases, do discolor over time, or they start looking very, very nasty. They look bad. They turn brown off. Like, my mom has a pink Outerbox case, and it's really starting to turn brown and everything. It just looks nasty. It doesn't look like the day she bought it. With this case, I've had it now about 3 years, and what I can say is it's a very nice looking case. It won't discolor. It won't look funky. It'll pretty much look like the day you've actually bought in this case. This case doesn't add too much bulk to the iPad. I mean, to your iPad if you do buy it. I'm assuming I don't own it for the iPad Mini 4, but with my phone, it doesn't add a lot of bulk. It's not too heavy, and it does pretty much add the same amount of protection that like an Outerbox case would provide, or like the Griffin Survivor case which would provide. And also, it does have all the ports are covered up, and you can see that the speaker is recessed. I'm assuming on the iPad it is going to be recessed as well, and you do got your dust protectors for all the ports, so it shouldn't get any dust or debris inside of them if you're using it. overall I can highly recommend this case. And with every single case I am showing today, they are actually going to be in multiple colors. Just because I show it on screen with a certain color, they do make it in different colors if you want a different color for your device. But the Unicorn Beetle Pro by Subcase is definitely a win in my book. Last but not least, we have the Outerbox Defender case, or the Outerbox series as a whole. How can you not have a case list without the Outerbox brand? Everybody knows the Outerbox brand is some of the most rugged cases on the market. Anybody who's used an Outerbox case can testify that they make some of the most rugged cases on the planet Earth. I have used Outerbox cases on multiple devices, and I can say you can't go wrong with Outerbox. Sure, you're paying anywhere between $50 to $60 for an Outerbox case, but when you have an Outerbox case, you know that your device is going to stay clean, pristine, mint condition, and things like that, and it can survive the hardest of drops, the hardest of falls. You just can't go wrong with the Outerbox case. Now, one nice thing about the Outerbox case, just like the Griffin case, is the fact that it does have a built-in stand. Well, not built-in, but it does have one on a separate piece. So if you need a stand with your device, the Outerbox case is going to be the case for you. It does have a stand, and it does come with one. One thing it does have over the Griffin case, it does have a piece that snaps on the front of the device that protects the screen. So if you need a hard plastic piece that does protect the front of your device, the Outerbox is going to provide it. Honestly, if I was to pick a case that's really, really super rugged, I would pick the Outerbox almost over any case on the market that's rugged, just because you get full-on ruggedness with the Outerbox Defender case. It has a piece that snaps on the front. It's a two-piece case. It's just very, very protective, and you can't go wrong with it. Sure, they discolor, and sure, some of the rubber does expand over time, but for the most part, it's a very, very rugged case for the most hardest, roughest roughhousing conditions. I didn't mention any cases in this list that are going to be particularly good for waterproof. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any that were waterproof. Sure, they do make them. One brand I can recommend for waterproof, because I've had experience with them, is the LifeProof cases. I couldn't find one for the iPad Mini 4, but if you can find a LifeProof case for the iPad Mini 4, I would say go with it. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't think it does have the most rugged build, but for waterproofing and things like that, I absolutely love the LifeProof cases. Also, if you didn't know, LifeProof, I think, was bought by Outerbox a couple of years ago. Don't hold my word to that, but I think I heard somewhere that Outerbox bought out LifeProof, so you know that it's a good company just because Outerbox owns them. Overall, for a rugged case, I would go with the Outerbox case if you have the money to throw down. If you don't have the money to throw down, then I would actually still go with a Subcase Unicorn Beetle Pro case. It's a very good case for $17 to $20. Like I said before, don't let the price fool you. Although it is a very cheap case,